Hi, welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness. Today we're playing Shellshock 2 Blood Trials or Trails. Which one is it? It's Trails. Sorry, I couldn't remember the name of the game I was playing. Isn't that pathetic? But anyway, this is a sequel to Shellshock NOM 67, which was actually developed by Gorilla, who you might know is the company that makes the Killzone games. And then Rebellion, who makes the Sniper Elite games, amongst others, like Alien vs. Predator, actually developed the sequel. Now, there's not a lot of Vietnam games out there, and this is a really interesting one, because this one kind of has like zombies in it and a Vietnam deal going on. It's really weird. It's not a real popular game. It's not well received. We'll see what it's like. I actually just finished it. So it has its good and bad qualities. I'm sure you guys will focus on the most negative stuff, because that's what we naturally do most of the time as human beings when we hear something, especially if we're debating on whether to get it or not. But without further ado, let's load an existing save game, and I'm probably gonna pick the wrong thing like I usually do, so you'll have that to look forward to. So this game has some moments that are really awesome and great and fun, and then there's moments where you just want to chuck the controller. So there's times where you just need to, if you decide to eventually purchase this game or whatever, there's going to be times where, unless you're really good, like some, I don't know, like child prodigy, except instead of like curing cancer or something, you're really good at video games, like your geniusness went into like geniusness, don't I sound like a scholar? Like your intelligence went into the route of video games instead of something that's actually productive towards society. But anyway, yeah, let's pick a level instead of listening to me try to be funny. Alright. I think this is an all-around good level. We'll try this one. I think this has a mixture of both. I want to basically show both aspects of the Vietnam part of the game, where you're actually, it's like a military shooter, and the zombies are more like the zombies from 28 Days Later, which it's kind of like somebody who's just lost their mind. It's, the graphics are alright. They're not going to blow your mind or anything, and some of the guns are way underpowered. For some reason, you can shoot somebody point blank range in the face with a shotgun in this game and it won't do anything, but you can do the same with the M16. Their head will pop like a melon.
Ain't they supposed to be able to smell us or some shit?
Walk, we ain't got much time, so I'm gonna fill you in. You all walk.
So essentially you're in Vietnam, and you're kind of, one of the things is you're looking for your brother, another is you come across this stuff called White Knight or whatever that makes the people go mad and turn into these zombie like creature things. So there's a lot of horror elements in this game, and there's really good atmosphere at parts, but it's just clunky. This game needed some polishing badly before it was released. I don't think they probably spent an incredible amount of money on this game compared to other games, and it's really weird because it really is nothing like the first game, which was actually a very serious third-person shooter Vietnam game. This one kind of goes for like just a horror element. I'm playing on the PlayStation 3 if I haven't mentioned it already. One problem with this particular PlayStation 3 game is that here, you can look at the controls yourself. I'm not going to do everything for you. Maybe you can't look at the controls of this particular menu, but one of the things is it uses the triggers instead of like the just the L1 and R1 buttons like in most shooter games, so I don't like them. They're really spongy. I never like them. I deal with it if a game requires it, because there are games that use them that I actually like, but I feel like I'm wearing the controller out faster than it needs to be if I'm using the spongy buttons with like a trigger. But I guess that's what it was initially made for. They're just not made very well, and if you use a PlayStation 2 controller, you can tell Sony was very aware of this. This game came out a little bit later than I think Call of Duty, or around the time where they kind of had the established kind of third-person shooter controls. I'm not saying like every game should control like Call of Duty, but unless it like has complexities, I think every shooter should control relatively the same. So you have this light. The lighting in this game's pretty good, I guess, for a flashlight. There's nothing mind-blowing. You have typical weapons. I don't know what engine this runs on, but it provides enough foliage or whatever, so it looks like you're in the jungle. I don't feel like I'm at Disneyland on Space Mountain or anything. I'm playing this with the sound down, which is going to be kind of extremely hard for me. This game is mostly difficult because the controls and stuff are clunky. Instead of pushing in the button like the a left analog stick to run, you actually have to hold L1. R1's actually the grenades. When you first play, if you're used to playing other first-person shooters, it's kind of confusing. I just kind of feel like when games come out, they should relatively have the same control scheme. Like in the Nintendo days, like A was usually, unless it was some weird obscure game, like A was usually jump and B was the action button, and then Sega Genesis, like C was jump, B was usually the attack, and A was a special button, etc., etc. And I think with shooters, like there was an already established shooter control scheme for the PlayStation. Just like, oh shit, I'm talking and I'm not killing. That could be a movie quote, I think, maybe. For all you people that bitched about Wolfenstein The New Order, you won't like the fact that you actually have to pick up your ammo, so that might already be a turnoff for you. But this game has really good atmosphere. This level doesn't really have a lot of sound effects and stuff like that going on to create tension, but I think it's a level that represents like a good portion of the game. There's not a lot of story going on. It shows sort of how the action and everything works, so I figured it's the best all-around level to pick out. The level design sometimes isn't the best. Like the levels get sort of maze-like, where you don't always know where to go, or you don't know what doors you can unlock, and I keep on pushing X out of habit. Sorry about that. That's why my light keeps on turning on and off. This might run on the same engine that Aliens vs. Predator did.
You first.
It seems like it.
Get in there.
I don't even know what kind of pistol I had before.
Ship it.
Keep it.
Now we get to see what you made.
I don't know what just happened. I'm sitting really close to the screen, so you'll have to forgive me. One of the things I said are beside the
See what you made of, you fucking pussy.
let me see, this is a shotgun. It's really underpowered. It looks like it would. That's a bad example. Usually doesn't work that good. Look, he got shot point blank. Usually doesn't work that good, and I try to stick to the AK-47s or the M16s. Also, I don't like that pushing the analog stick he ducks. They have that in Battlefield too, and I don't like it because the analog sticks, if you use a controller after a while, the sticks are super sensitive, so you'll start ducking by accident. And that's another qualm I have. Like, let's pretend this is cover, right? And you're trying to hide. Well, you don't really ever hide. You don't go low enough to take cover. That's another thing. The cover system is absolutely useless. But the atmosphere and the whole Vietnam vibe is really cool, and I know zombies have been overdone, but this is a pretty cool take on zombies combined with a Vietnam level. I still feel like the best Vietnam games were, see, it was trying to tell me to push triangle, but I'm so close to the TV, I had to actually physically look up. That's my story though, and I'm sticking by it. You die a lot by accident on here. I don't like the quick time events, as you might tell. But usually when they don't work out, it's my own fault. But there's some things like when you're trying to run from a zombie or anybody, sometimes there might be a rock or a stick on the road, and like for some reason your character is too stupid to be able to walk over it. Like he'll just run in place unless you walk around it completely. So this is a delightful place to behold. But this game does a good job most of the time in building tension. We'll give it that. At all costs, unless you absolutely have to, if you decide to play this game, leave the shotguns alone, because they're almost worthless unless you shoot somebody like point blank range where the gun's actually physically touching them. And that would be an inappropriate touch anyway, so just don't do it. But the best Vietnam games I think are Men of Valor, but I think, no, I gotta do another quick time scene, which makes it look like a kid's game, like Simon Says. This has like some 6-axis stuff on here, but if you go to the options, you can turn it off. Like you can wave the controller around like a fool, or you can just switch to the buttons like the Xbox 360 version has. By the way, this is also available for the Xbox 360 and PC. I'm guessing the PC is the best port. Now between the PlayStation version and the 360, I don't know which one's better. One thing about this that's kind of cool and annoying at the same time is when you get blood in your face, it kind of prevents you from aiming. Also keep in mind that this is sort of like a survival horror game in the fact that you have limited ammunition most of the time. So if you don't have to use ammo, I wouldn't use it. Just butt them with your gun in the head, or anywhere in general. But if you're fighting more than one zombie, use the gun, because nothing's worse than being stuck in a crowd of the undead or whatever the hell they would be considered in this game, or just regular enemies and not have any bullets left. So even though the graphic engine isn't the greatest, it does have its own atmosphere. This would be a good time to use the gun. kill the first guy, hit the other guy with the butt of your gun. Or if you have a pistol, pistol whip the motherfucker. Either way, it'll work. That was my strategy. I finished the game on medium. I don't think I'd have a prayer to fight it on hard. I'm doing terrible because I'm sitting so close to the screen and trying to think of things to say, but you know, you can't win them all. So his leg looks like it could be in better shape. Oh, use grenades. Grenades are kind of in an awkward place, so you might not always think to use them. And make sure you reload your gun. That is integral. Like, I know in Call of Duty, if you like hold the bullets or the trigger down and use all your bullets, they'll reload automatically. This game will not reload unless you push reload, so make sure you reload, because there's nothing worse in the game. And I'm telling you obvious stuff, but like, this game doesn't do the stuff that you take for granted for you in other first-person shooters. Like, I've gotten caught many a times like shooting and then forgetting to reload, thinking that my gun was gonna reload automatically by itself, and then like be completely out of bullets, and then like get jumped by a bunch of the undead. I suck so bad without really hearing the sound. And me talking, I shouldn't have picked a maze level, but a lot of the levels in this game are sort of maze-like, so I don't know. I know I've been here before, but yeah, I've come across many times where I forgot to reload the gun, and I was shit out of luck without a prayer. Like right there, like just because I didn't hit that doorway just right, it like stopped me completely, instead of just being smart enough to know that I was trying to get into the door. There's just little things that'll add up that'll annoy you, but all in all, it's a good experience, especially in the beginning of the game. There's just one part, maybe 3/4 of the way, that's frustrating, and the ending will make you want to punch somebody in the face, but which sounds terrible for a game. No game should make you want to punch somebody in the face, but you'll find yourself at times playing this game like having a blast, like blowing things away, being giddy as a schoolboy, blowing zombies' heads off. It's the Vietnam zombie game that you wanted, but you never knew about. It just needed to be polished. They should have patched it, but I doubt they probably wanted to spend money. This is a good time to use a grenade. When you see them feeding like that, there's nothing's worse than getting stuck with a bunch of zombies and having people shoot at you at the same time. Why don't you come down and play, you piece of shit. I'm doing awful, by the way. Do not play by my example. It didn't reload for me, even though like I had bullets left. It makes you feel like your gun's empty. You just gotta remember to reload. You don't necessarily have to shoot them in the head, but it's the instant kill. I've used up way more ammo than I probably should have. When there's one zombie, hit him with the butt of the rifle. That's my best advice for you. Sometimes you can get away with two. There should be a machine gun in this nest here. Huh. Nobody's here. Could have sworn this activated some scene. Watch, she'll show up now. So is my life. Oh shit. There you are. They're in a doorway like that. I guess it doesn't matter because they're too stupid to come through two at a time. You kill them single file. I feel like, yeah, I saw somebody. There you are, you little piece of shit. I think he made it past my poor firing. And I got the worst rifle to fight these guys off with. So that's really bad at my part because it's hard to shoot somebody in the head unless you're really good. At least in my experience. This doesn't have like Call of Duty snap-on controls that are on default. I know some people are like, well, I have those things turned off. Well, I don't because I'm not good like you, or something like that. I don't know. I actually never had that argument. I'm just trying to embellish my life to make it sound more interesting. I feel like there's gonna be a bunch of guys coming. Last time I had a huge firefight, but the first time I played I didn't, so maybe it changes. I could hardly imagine this being like a dynamic game where it changes every time you play. If it is, more power to them. That must suck. Come on, join the party. You're invited. Oh shit. Look at that AI at work. You can use the rifle sight, but I wouldn't bother. I really wouldn't. Most of the time it's easier just to aim and pick them off. Well, just aiming at the hip. It's hardly the most accurate way of disposing the zombie, cause I'm the expert when it comes to zombies. That may or may not be true, by the way. You'll have to guess on your own during a zombie outbreak. Just to make sure during a zombie outbreak you actually hold a controller, so if you need to follow my advice, you'll know what buttons to push. Alright. That means I'm being shot at. The white little faded areas of the screen mean you're being shot at versus the zombies, which are usually bloody areas that are kind of at the screen. Since I have the sound so low, I can't tell which direction I'm being shot at. I mean, I can tell what direction I'm being shot at from. I can't tell by hearing. If I get shot, I can see, you see when he hits you, like blood splatters on the screen. You find a lot of dead bodies in this game. It's zombie territory. There must be a sniper or something. I'm gonna hide behind this non-explosive Jeep. One problem I do find with this game is I feel like the draw distance and the enemies could be a little bit better, but you adjust. Like I said, I finished the game, so you don't have to be a scholar. I finished it on normal. I mean, there's an easy setting too, but if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything, apparently. Oh, this is where that huge firefight was. I'm pushing the wrong buttons again because I'm used to playing every other first-person shooter on the PlayStation that has a similar control scheme. Hit detection isn't the best. Obviously, I was hitting him, like aiming at him perfectly, and he wouldn't drop dead, so it's clunky, to say the least. But it's still fun. Like, once you get into it with the atmosphere and stuff like that, it makes it worth it. Especially if you can get the game cheap. And I hate to be one of those people and be like, you should pay this much or that much for the game. But I mean, you could pay $60 for it and feel like you got your money's worth, but I feel like for $60, like, a game should be 100% polished. There's a very rare instances where I feel like a game's 100% polished. Usually they have to be patched or something. This is coming from a guy who enjoyed Aliens Colonial Marines, and that game was buggy as shit when it first came out. But I mean, you could probably find this game fairly cheap. I mean, if you justify playing something that you love for $60, more power to you. I would be kind of frustrated personally just for the fact that I feel like this game's somewhat unfinished, but there's parts where I've had more fun playing this than other games. I actually made a point to finish this before finishing, well, I already finished it once, but still I have The Last of Us Remastered Edition on the PlayStation 4, which is an amazing game, and I never played the DLC before, and I wanted to finish this and do a video of this before I even did this, so there was enough to keep me going to even skip that game for a while so I could play this. And then, like, I found the complete edition of LA Noire, which is probably my favorite all-time PlayStation 3 game, one of my all-time favorite games in general, but I think it kind of is a little higher up there than Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 is high up on the list of one of the best PlayStation 3 games that I've ever played, but you know, if I had to give it the edge, LA Noire get it. So between those two, between this game and LA Noire, I kind of held off on The Last of Us because The Last of Us is kind of a stealthy game and I got to be in the right kind of mood. Also, I have Tales of Xillia too, but you probably won't. Is it Xillia or Xillia? I have both games and I don't know exactly what how you would say it. I should watch a review or something so I don't sound like an idiot on the air, but I'll probably hold off on showing you guys that. I just can't imagine showing a short video of an RPG unless it's in the first person shooter and it's actually a rocket propelled grenade. Then I'd have no problem, but an actual Japanese role-playing game, I don't think I could do it. Alright, I'm not quite sure what to do, even though I finished this level, I think, today, actually. I'm still confused. Man, ADD is such a bitch. Well, I'm being shot at. Usually that's a bad sign, but in games where you're lost, it's usually a good sign. So much for showing you the ambiance of the game. This game has it, and it's a pretty good game. It's not mind-blowing. It has its flaws. I'd at least say it's average. I wouldn't say it's below average. I was actually, this is one of those games that I passed in the store like a bunch of times, like a thrift store or whatever, and it was cheap and nobody ever bought it, and I just like, it's almost like a poor puppy at the window. I was like, oh, alright, I'll adopt you. And then I ended up giving the game a chance and ended up really enjoying it, and I'm really happy. Even though it wasn't a lot of money, I'm happy with the investment that I made. You're not a zombie. Get out of here. Oh, they can open doors. I just can't. That's not nice. Who the hell is shooting at me? Is there anything I can use around here? Yeah, I'll take that. Banana clip. Not actually edible. I mean, you could try to eat at least the bullets, but you'd probably die of brain damage and lead poisoning. I'm really picking at straws with the comedy here. It's been a long day. I made sure I finished this game so I could make this video. The stuff I go through, you guys, for you guys, I mean, not through you guys. I don't know what that means. 9 times out of 10, half of you won't even watch it. You assholes. I'm just joking. You guys are great. The ones who watch this channel and our video or whatever, if you don't, you won't know, and I'll basically be talking behind your back, so it doesn't really matter.
Beg me for your eye. Hurry, I may leave you to them.
Alright. I'm thinking maybe he might want to invest in washing his hands a bit. Oh, another kids game cut or quick time event. Whatever you want to call it. Of course, it kind of takes the kid portion out of it when it ends with a subtitle that says "fuck you" at the bottom of the screen, but you know, whatever. But anyway, maybe I didn't do this game enough justice or whatever, but it's an enjoyable game if you can get over the flaws. One of the few Vietnam first-person shooters out there. If you're sick of Call of Duty and you want to play like something that almost feels like a, I don't know, like a underground indie hit type of game that nobody's ever heard of, or you know, that isn't really popular. You want to try something new and you play it like everything else, like I would definitely give it a try, and if you see it really cheap, you can't go wrong, especially if you can get it for the price of like a freaking Happy Meal or something. Then you really can't bitch. I mean, the flaws do get annoying and there are some frustrating parts. I've mentioned most of them. If I forgot to mention any, just ask and I'll tell you, but you probably don't need to know. And if you're watching this, you know who. I hope you're happy I finally did the playthrough or the let's play of this video that you've been pestering me for. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you on the next video. And if you like this video, feel free to click the like, because it means a lot and it makes me kind of feel good. So you're really just, I'm being selfish in asking you to build my self-esteem. Are you buying this? You're not? Oh, alright. Well, if you like this video, please click the like button. It does mean a lot, and it makes me know like what works or what doesn't. And feel free to leave comments, positive or negative. Just if you leave negative ones, don't be an asshole. Be constructive, because I won't respond to you or respond to you nicely if you're an asshole. That's not an invitation, by the way. And if you're new to this channel and you like this video, please feel free to subscribe. And if you absolutely hated this video, there's like a bunch of other videos that I've made that I probably didn't stutter or slur nearly as much, that you might enjoy more. So yeah, you should subscribe either way. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you on the next video. Take care, and check out this game, Shellshock 2 Blood Trails, for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, or PC. Not the most polished game in the world, but it does have its moments with atmosphere and gameplay where there's times where it's actually somewhat of a blast to play. I mean, it's not going to blow your mind, but I definitely, if somebody asked me on the street how it was, I'd be like, you know, it's good. I mean, I had fun. I mean, beside the parts where I wanted to throw the controller, but we're not talking about that. Alright guys, take care, bye.